Hello and good day, everybody. I wanted to take just a brief moment and show you simply how to create a drop-down cell within this particular column, within the category column. The scenario here is that we've got a list of inventory items. We have a location for these items. We have an approximate value for these items, and now we need to actually put what category these items are in. And we could go in and type that this is a piece of office furniture or a piece of computer equipment, but it's tedious, and you can make a typographical error and they not be spelled the same way. So the goal is to put a drop down here that tells us what category this equipment falls into. Whenever I'm faced with this, the first thing I want to do is make a list of the items that are going to be in my drop down. And here I've called these inventory items. And these are a list, or this is a list of the items that are going to fit into that category. I may have other items, so I'm going to include some blanks in what I'm about to do. So what I need to do is to name this group of cells. And first thing I need to do is select, and I'll start with the word inventory and then drag down, and let's just give it another, say, 5 extra cells. And now then, I always forget this. I know it has something to do with F3. I'm going to do Control-Shift F3 and see if that does what I want. As it turns out, it does. So that's Control-Shift F3, and that brings up the Create Names dialog box. And it's asking us, do you want me to name this list of cells the value that's in the top row? And I do. I want this list of cells to be known as inventory. So we'll say OK. And now just to test this out, you can go to the name box, which is way up in the left here, hit the drop down, and there's the word inventory. And if I click on inventory, it tells me that these are the inventory items. This is the group of cells that's known as inventory. As far as Excel is concerned, the name of this group of cells is inventory. All right, the work is over. It is totally over. So what I'm going to do is go back to the original sheet, and I'm just going to select this one cell, and what I want to do is to make a drop-down list here, and that's found under data validation. So I go to the data tab and then over to data validation, and I don't want any value to be in that cell. I want a specific list to be in there, and it wants to know, where is this list? What is the source for this list? I have to start that off with an equal sign, and let's just pretend I forgot the name of that list. I know that it's inventory, but let's just say that I forgot what it is. To bring up a list of all the names that you have in this workbook, you can press the F3 key on your keyboard, and it'll give you an entire list of all the names that you've assigned in this sheet. And here is our list, or our name that we've created, inventory. So I'll click that. Click OK, and now it's telling us that we will only allow a specific list in this cell, and that list is contained within the named range inventory. Hit OK. I'll stop there. I do want an in-cell drop-down. We could do away with that if we wanted to, but I think that's helpful here. So we'll hit OK. And now you see there's a drop-down here. Click on that one. There's not a drop down there, so that could be a problem. There's not a drop down there, and we want one all the way down, even as far as, say, row 20. So that's a simple remedy. We use our fill handle. Remember the black square that's in the lower right corner, and when you float on it, your pointer goes from a white plus sign to a small, thin black plus sign. So now it's got it in the fill state. Click, hold down, and drag. I'm going to drag it all the way down to row 20. And now then when I click on the next row, I have a drop down, I have a drop down, I have a drop down. So let's put some values in there. Click the drop down, choose radios, click the drop down, choose car equipment, car electronics rather, click the drop down and put car equipment, and right on down the line. Now, if later I needed to have values, say needed to have drop downs further than row 20, let me just bring it on up. There's row 21. Very simple. I'd make sure this is blank. That makes it a little simpler. And then drag it right on down, and now you have drop downs further down. So that's how easy it is. First, name a range, then go to a cell. I'm going to come over here, go to the data ribbon, the data tab, over to data validation, tell it you want a list, make that list the named range that you created. I'm pressing F3, double click on that, or single click, hit OK, and now you've got a drop down. All right, hope that helps.